Hey, what's up? It's Alex. Today I want to talk about a sample answer to the IELTS question, describe a trip you took by public transport. In this sample answer, we'll see a way to answer when you can't really think of anything in your own experience that answers the question. Let's have a look. To be honest, I almost never take public transport. To be honest, to be, we link those two sounds together, not to be, but to be honest. To be honest, I almost never the T in almost disappears. Almost never take public transport. The k sounds at the end of take and public disappear. They turn into glottal stops. Take public transport. I almost never take public transport. We can also make the last T in transport into a glottal stop. I almost never take public transport. I have my own car, so I just drive wherever I need to go. So we want to link those together. So I just drive. Now just drive just ends with t, and drive begins with d, so we link those together. I just drive. I just drive wherever I need to go. Same thing with need to go, need to go. But recently I saw a report online about a British guy. But recently, the T in but turns into a glottal stop. I saw a report. I saw a report. Saw a. Those are two slightly different vowels. Saw a report. It almost sounds like I'm making the vowel in saw particularly long. Saw a report. I saw a report online. Report online. That T in report turns into a tap. Report online. It links up with the ah in online. About a British guy. Again, we have another tap. About a British guy who challenged himself to see how far he could travel by city bus in 24 hours. Challenged himself. The H in himself disappears. To see. To turns into t. It gets very heavily reduced. How far he could travel. We make the H in he disappear, and we link could travel. How far he could travel. By city bus. It's not city. It's city. City. This is the American pronunciation. In the United Kingdom, it's city. But in the US, we weaken that t to a little tap. City. City bus. He carefully planned everything out beforehand. Planned everything. We link those sounds together. And then the T in out turns into a glottal stop. Everything out beforehand. Then he left at 3 in the morning to take the first bus out of London. Then he, the H in he disappears, left at 3. The T in at turns into a glottal stop. Left at 3. 3 in the morning. Kind of link in the together and link it to 3. 3 in the morning. To take turns into to take the first bus out of London. Here, first bus turns into first bus. The T completely disappears. And of could turn into a. We could also keep it as a small and weak of. First bus out of London. First bus out of London. Both are fine. I don't know how many times he had to transfer, but he eventually made it all the way up to some city in the north. I don't know. We won't change this to dunno. I don't know. We'll say I don't know. Don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how many times he had to transfer. He had to. We weaken had and to. He had to transfer. But he eventually. But he turns into buddy. That's another tap of the T. Eventually. He eventually. We add a y sound. He eventually made it all the way up to some city in the north. Made it all. Made it all. The d and t here get reduced. Made it all. Made it all the way up to some. Up to. Up to. Those consonants get kind of blended together. Up to. Up to. Up to. All the way up to some city in the north. In the connects together as well. In the. Some city in the north. Without ever taking a long-distance bus. Without ever. Again, we tap that T. Without ever. Without ever. Without ever taking a long-distance bus. I'd love to try a crazy travel challenge like that someday. I'd love. Dl. We link those sounds together. I'd love to. I'd love to try. To try turns into to try. I'd love to try a crazy travel challenge like that someday. Before the S, the T turns into a glottal stop. Like that. Like that someday. To be honest, I almost never take public transport. I have my own car, so I just drive wherever I need to go. But recently I saw a report online about a British guy who challenged himself to see how far he could travel by city bus in 24 hours. He carefully planned everything out beforehand, then he left at 3 in the morning to take the first bus out of London. I don't know how many times he had to transfer, but he eventually made it all the way up to some city in the north without ever taking a long-distance bus. I'd love to try a crazy travel challenge like that someday.